So as we begin, music has a great power for bringing people together. With so many forces in the world acting to drive wedges between people, it's important to preserve those things that help us experience our common humanity. So here we are tonight for some beautiful music, and now let's welcome Alicia Eppinga and Jeremy Verwys.
It's such a pleasure to be here for an amazingly big crowd. This is just so special. I have known Jeremy for a long time, and we have been playing together actually as pretty regularly for about the last 2 years, spurred in part from this series right here. 2 years ago we both played for this, and I think it just kind of made me certainly think, I want to play something more with this guy, and so there you have it. When I was young and growing up in Grand Haven, And learning the cello, probably about the 4th year I was playing or something, I learned the Vivaldi Sonata No. 5 in E minor. I played it many times. I played it with piano. It's also has an orchestral accompaniment for the cellist. But when we found this music with guitar and cello, I fell in love with the combination, the sound, and just the space it gives the music to have the guitar. And it seemed very special to me. And so we've really, from then, worked on having a bit more repertoire. And today, we are bringing you, I would say, the music that we feel is sort of the most beautiful music that we play. So the second piece we are going to play is another Italian composer. This is Pergolesi. He died amazingly young. If you see in your little program, I think he died when he was 26. He was very well known, though. He was well loved in Venice, and it was even rumored that it's quite possible he did not die from tuberculosis at the age of 26, but maybe was murdered because he was so popular. I know. This is a lovely little aria, so it's called an arietta, and the words are kind of nonsensical in a little way because I'm not even going to bother about that. What I think is so beautiful is that I get to play the vocalist in this piece, and I think it's an amazing thing. It's such good phrasing for a singer. You learn how to sort of breathe, and I just love this piece. So we will play our arietta by Pergolesi.
stand, shouldn't I? For our next piece, this is a fun piece that I had a lot of personal time spending with because it originally was for solo guitar by the Spanish composer Fernando Sor. And Fernando Sor composed during the classical era when the guitar was kind of this cute little parlor instrument. It wasn't quite as serious of a concert instrument like it's considered now. It was this kind of fun thing you would break out at parties to show your friends, look what I can do. I still do that. And this piece is a part of this standard classical guitar repertoire. Any student who's going to decide to play, it's kind of a rite of passage almost. And it was not originally intended to play as a duet. It's a solo piece, but the guitarist Salvatore Seminara decided, I bet cello would sound good with it. And you know what? I agree. In fact, I find that cello makes everything sound a little bit better. So this is one of Fernando Sor's solo guitar pieces. It's widely considered his B minor study with a little added cello. next set of pieces is, we're staying in Spain with the composer Manuel de Falla. And Manuel de Falla composed a set of 7 songs, originally intended for voice and piano. A Spanish guitarist, who the name is escaping me at the moment, pardon me, approached him and said, wouldn't this sound absolutely lovely with guitar playing the piano? And Manuel de Falla was not happy to hear that. He did not enjoy composing for guitar whatsoever. He found the piano to be just a wonderful, wide range instrument, and having to take that and try to put it to this, I can understand the gripe. However, the guitar really lends itself to this beautiful music, especially with Alicia being able to play these wonderful melody lines. And each individual songs from the set has a little bit of a different story. And I believe you have a little bit of better information, Alicia, about the 2 pieces we're about to play.
Sure. We're going to be doing 2 songs, and these are from a suite of popular Spanish songs, and they were taken from 7 different regions in Spain. So they all have a very different quality as well because of that. The first we are playing is Nana, and it is just a lullaby. It's a beautiful lullaby. The words are simple. They are, sleep, little one, sleep, my darling, sleep, my little morning star. I hope you don't fall asleep. But and the second is Asturiana. So this comes from that region of Spain. And this is a really fascinating poem to me. So I will just let you take it. I'm going to read it, and then we will play Nana and Asturiana. To see if it might console me, I sat beneath a green pine. To see me weep, it wept. The pine, being green, wept to see me weeping. So much. Our next piece is a piece by a composer you've maybe never heard of, Eppinga. Eppinga was a Ukrainian composer, and most people, if they've ever heard of him, have only heard of him because he was Stravinsky's first composition teacher. Eppinga lived in Ukraine, but then emigrated, and he lived in Prague for a while. And it was at this time in his life, which was right after the First World War, that he says he kind of became unified with Ukraine. And he just took on the fact that he was Ukrainian very seriously, and it really shaped all the music he wrote ever since that point. And this would be one of the earlier pieces he would have written in that time. The title of the piece means distant song, which I think is, I think of him maybe being in Prague and thinking of Ukraine, and maybe even where we're at right now, the way we might think of a distant song. I think it's very beautiful. So this is just a beautiful piece that we kind of came across without having ever heard of Eppinga. So it also introduced him to us. So I hope you enjoy this piece. like to know what we were just saying, but that's okay. Anyway, we'll be finishing our program with a piece of music that you might recognize. This is the Pavane by Fauré. It's probably one of the most beloved works by him. And you've probably heard it maybe with an orchestra with a flute solo. And that's typically the way we've heard it. It originally started as a piano piece. But again, it's just so kind of perfect with guitar. And Jeremy's able to do some kind of cool little different sounds with this accompaniment as well, which I think lends something very special to it. So thank you again for being here and for appreciating music and being here, to join together in something very special. And it's special for Jeremy and I as well, so thank you. So Pavane by Fauré.
so much for the beautiful music that you provide us with this evening, especially at this last concert that is packed full of people. And it was very moving, very beautiful. Thank you very, very much. I also want to embarrass some people and ask Dr. Julia Brown to please stand. At some point I'm going to pay for this, I know this, but I'm also going to ask your very committed volunteer staff who put together this whole evening for us with the food and the setup and everything else to please stand, and probably all the people aren't here, but please stand if you're one of those volunteers, because we want to thank you. Thank you. They're so humble they don't want to stand. That's the kind of people that we have working here. So thank you for your service this evening. Thank you all for your participation. And these are very special times. And now we'll look forward to Advent for the next series in the fall, or before Advent maybe. So for the next series. But receive this benediction, which is printed in your program for the evening. This blessing reads, "Be still and know that God is at the center of all things. God dwells where we dwell and shall not be moved. Be still and know." Thank you for coming this evening, and peace be with you as you leave. Thank you.